Here we are, back again for the third time.
And it's live.
Back again for the third time. I went a little bit of technical difficulties. You have not missed nothing because there's not been a ring walk yet, and you still haven't missed any of the cards, so not to worry too much. We have got coming up for you. We've got the KSI fight versus Fournier.
What's the weigh-ins there? Just going over them.
We've got 177 pounds for KSI, 179 for Joe Fournier. So yeah, pretty evenly matched. Not on ages though. KSI
11 years. Well, 10 years, 2 months.
10 years the difference though, isn't it? Because the thing is, what are you at 29 to what you are at 40? Do you know what I mean? And that's reality. For those who are joining us, you've not missed any of the fight. There's not even a ring walk yet. It's actually about an hour later than it should be. But hopefully it'll be in a good fight.
I can tell you what, at 20, when I was at 29 to how I am now.
Yeah.
I'm not at 40 yet. 36.
You're nowhere near. You're close to 29, you're at 40.
No, I'm close to 40. I'm 36.
Not by much though. You're bang in the middle, really. Yeah.
I tell you what, I couldn't do what I could do at 29. What I could do now, totally different.
Okay, right. So 11 years.
I mean, I'd knock myself out.
11 years of difference. Right.
11 years ago.
What could I do if I was 22 to when I was now? Yeah, I reckon I'm all right. Yeah, I reckon I'm all right. I reckon I'm fitter now.
You're fitter now?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows?
But give yourself 10 years to what you are now.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I've just done there. So I was 22.
No, from 22 to 32. That's
like the things I like.
Prime age for a man is 27.
Yeah,
so 5 years before and 5 after is like.
I feel better now than I've done for a
You feel better now?
Life. Yeah.
Yeah, give yourself 10 years. You'll be like, I don't think I could go in the ring. I don't think I could work out as much as I did.
You boxed before? Guys, we just still waiting in the ring.
I have boxed and I did it once. Don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
I had fun when I did it. Got beat up more than anything else.
Yeah,
that was just sparring every day.
Yeah, just being a young man in Great Britain. Yeah, happy days.
No, just sparring in boxing. You know.
Oh, was that with work?
Yeah, getting up every morning.
Yeah.
And going, I get punched in the face today. And when you go in, and because we was all mates as well, you go in there, and you'd like, our coach, he used to beat us all up. He had a team of 20 lads, and he'd go 3 rounds with every single one of us. And at the end, so we're talking, he did 63-minute rounds in one day against the whole team, and he battered every single one of us.
Oh, that's such a bad coach.
And
notoriously, where we work for the bad coaches,
not actually battered us as in,
I get it.
But he was really good. He could have gone pro himself. That was the standard of the coach he was, and that's why he was able to do that with us. And we threw everything at him, and he kept on going, and he started off with the lighter guys, built his way up to. We had a couple of big guys as well, throwing big haymakers at him. And we just carried on. The next day, for 3 days after, he couldn't walk properly. He'd maybe cracked a rib or two. And we'd done a job on him, but he did it. But it was that getting up every morning and knowing I'm going to go and get punched in the face again today. So us as mates, we'd be like sparring. We'll just go 20%. 30%.
Yeah, just
light. And you would
light
go nice and light, and you'd throw a few things, a couple of body jabs.
So you get into something you don't like.
But no, you'd be, and then all of a sudden someone would go bang, and you're like,
and then it turns the game up, doesn't it?
We're at 30%. Like, I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah.
It's the big thing to me was getting in the ring itself. I felt good before my fight. I felt fresh. Everything else, and I did the ring walk. My ring walk was like 3 minutes. Got in the ring, and the minute I got in the ring, I'd never had like the lactic build up as much, and I was just like
on the soft ring as well.
Everything. It just sucked the energy out of you, and then you get into this little zone, and people are shouting all sorts at you.
Yeah,
and you're not hearing anything. All you're concentrating on is trying to hit person in front of you.
Yeah. And
but the same thing, they're trying to do the same.
You feel like you're running on sand, don't you?
It feels like you're wearing concrete boots running on sand.
Is this Good to see Charlie back. Oh, we've got a familiar face in the comments. Hello, Boxing After Dark. How are you? Good to see you. Well, do you know what we have got now? We've got a ring walk an hour later than expected, but it is here. And thank you for joining us on Blood About Boxing. My name is Kyle Brooks. With me tonight, my co-host is...
It's Charlie Wainwright. This is KSI's belt.
It's our belt.
I'll tell you what, it's a good-looking belt. I'll give it that. The big white.
While the ring walks are going down, these are some long old ring walks. This is more like a rap video that does a ring walk.
It is a rap video.
It's a rapper, I suppose. It's a rapper, isn't it?
You know, this will be released tomorrow on YouTube, probably.
Why not?
UK Top 40.
Who have you got winning tonight, boys? We got to go KSI. And KSI, maybe. I reckon it's KSI's second round.
I'm going KSI fourth round. I think.
What about you, boxing?
I think Joe's just got a bit too much to be knocked out in the first couple.
Yeah.
But I think he's not got enough to see the distance. But then again, we could be proven wrong. I do really like that belt. I think the WBO could learn a thing or two.
Shut up. No, let's not bring any more belts to boxing, please.
This is the Misfit Boxing Championship belt.
Is that what it's called? Okay, right. So KSI and Fournier are now in the ring. They're not fighting yet. Oh no. This will be about 12 minutes. Yeah, we've got a few more minutes for sure. But do stay with us and watch the card with us.
Fournier, you can tell his age just by that leather jacket he's wearing. He looks.
Why is he wearing a leather jacket?
It reminds me a bit
Michael Buffer.
David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Imagine David Hasselhoff in Baywatch.
Yeah.
Instead of red shorts, he's wearing gold with a leather jacket. That's the only vibes I'm getting.
So we've got Michael Buffer calling it tonight, introducing the boxers. We're still waiting on it. We're still waiting on the card. I reckon it will go live in about 5 or so minutes. But yeah, we're gonna bring in the round with myself, Kyle, and Charlie. And hopefully we'll have a good crack.
So DAZN have taken a big risk with doing this.
No,
DAZN and
they're making money.
They're making money, but there's the potential to really hurt their brand.
Tommy Fury's at ringside tonight, watching probably a future opponent in KSI.
So it's Misfit and DAZN present. So
okay.
It's a joint thing with them, and
Charlie's takes a classic. What do you mean by that? What does he mean by that? Like your outtake, your out of context Charlie, is that what we call it? Wearing bulletproof vests to the ring. I don't know. What are they expecting rounds? I don't know.
Well, why would you not?
I'm only expecting 6 rounds. I'm not expecting anything other than that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like Michael Buffer's calling it out now. So we have got for you tonight. We have got KSI versus Fournier. KSI. What's the symbol tonight? We've got KSI versus Fournier. KSI being the younger of the men, 29 years old. Fournier being 40 years old. Not active in the last 6 years. He's had a couple of exhibitions and one pro fight, which only lasted 90 seconds. Coming by the way of the win. But he's a businessman, a lot of money, £100 million in the bank. Does he need this tonight? No. Is there a reason why he's in the ring?
You know, I think he left boxing too early, maybe. And he's thinking, I'm going to go and have another little bit of taste of that.
Hopefully we'll have a good card in our hand. They're still calling it, boys. They're still calling it. They're calling out. What's the call? They haven't got any titles. They have nothing really to the name. They've got 15 fights between them. Did you get to watch the fight with David Hay? Did you see the David Hay exhibition? I didn't.
I didn't see it.
No.
And I
stay clear of David Hay. You're a bum, David Hay. You're a bum. I
didn't search for it today either, to be honest. I was like, an exhibition fight with David Hay.
Yeah. I have been told about it, and it's not great. I hear David didn't even throw a punch. Guys, we're still waiting on it now. They're just lowering the lights. It's a red light card tonight, which makes for a ring look great. Yeah, both fighters are in shape. Both fighters are up for it. And both coming in around 277 pounds. Who was the lighter? KSI.
KSI about £2.
Yeah, KSI, 277 pounds. Holding much less body fat than Fournier, though. His senior by 11 years this evening. So, yeah, the card should get underway in the next couple of minutes. And do stay with us for the fight. How do you guys see it going?
For a 40-year-old, he is in shape.
Come now, do him on like that. You know, we're talking about big foreheads here. You know, me and Charlie fucking up. Sorry for swearing, by the way.
Big one as well,
you leave us alone. You leave KSI's slaphead alone as well. Thank you very much.
These boys are in shape.
Yeah, they're in good nick, and they. I mean,
He's,
if you got to talk about his boat race, then do you know what I mean? Yeah, these boys are bringing it tonight. Hopefully we'll have a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy days. So still got what are they calling? What's this belt he's got then?
The Misfit British Boxing Championship.
Okay,
that's what it is. And
is what it is. Is it like the BMF in UFC? For those, I won't say the words because you can imagine what it means. But yeah, there's a crazy belt rock around the UFC. UFC is good for belts though. You got one champion, and you got one for the interim for who's fighting you next. That's what I'd like to see. Okay, so we're gonna fight finally. We have got a weird face off in the center of the ring.
Yeah,
KSI's dip down low. KSI always comes in his shape. For me, it's just a weird style he has. Feel like I can get the knockout. Yeah, 100%. I want to see it. Right. Okay, right. So we have got the first round ahead of us.
Let's see.
This is what we're here for, boys, and do stay tuned because we will give you the commentary. Okay, so ring-a-ding-ding, first couple, they are in the center of the ring. It's active. You know what? They throw more punches in the first 10 seconds than that fight we called last month.
Yeah.
Both fighters looking big.
KSI goes for a big right hand there.
Yeah.
Doesn't hit, doesn't connect.
We're happy to see it, though. Yeah, we're happy to see it. And again with a backhand.
KSI definitely looks like he's going to be the one going for it.
Yeah. He's like, Fournier turned his back there, complaining about a back of a head punch. They're in the middle. Fournier's down already. But it was a throw. It was like a wrestling match.
He body slammed him down.
Right, yeah. So no knockdowns being called. KSI. He's getting away. He's getting away, but this is what we're here for. This is what we're here. So how it's gone so far, we are 30 seconds into the fight. KSI has body slammed Fournier to the ground. Come on, JJ. JJ is like rolling the backhand. Like something's happening. This is what YouTube fighters are at, right? Whoa, what's happened here? Fournier's coming forward.
KSI,
JJ has
got that weird.
They've been split up. They've been told to come back to the center. Oh, this is good, boys. This actually is good. This is good. Fournier is complaining about the back of the head punch still. Refs having a word, and they are back in the center for a bit of action. Testing.
KSI throws everything from the hip.
The hands low.
Hands low, and he then drops his head into the punches.
They're up for it, though. They're up for it. KSI's hands are very low. Oh, he switched to southpaw for his business.
And then switched back.
This is mental. Oh, guys, I swear to you, this is
he's
funny.
Moving very quick.
His moving is just so funny. But this is active from KSI. Fournier,
he's just sitting on the back foot.
Yeah, he's a professional boxer, isn't he?
He's allowing him to throw these things. He's just stepping out of everything. He's being professional about it.
Yeah.
You can throw what you want, and I'll just step back every time.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing at the minute. With KSI, if he's throwing this, he needs to continue to come forward on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe catch him on the back foot.
Oh, KSI's big hand, mid-swing, and comes in swinging. Kind of slowed down a little for the last 30 seconds of the round. But, still very active, though.
Yeah.
And they are both going forward, which is great to see. KSI being the more aggressive of the two. Fournier slightly on the back foot, maybe showing a little bit more of his experience.
Yeah, he's just allowing KSI to go and do them. Just go and be silly in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Throw everything you've got. And let's see what you've got in the...
Again, a little tussle in the center. Ref's going to pull them apart, and we're going to go to the last 10 seconds of the first round, which is it's been a very active round, which is fun to call.
You know, we've had a body slam, we've had a lot of air shots.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you'd have connected,
we may even had a connection at one point, you know.
Yeah.
And they'll sit back down for the first round. How did you call that, though, Chad?
I'm going with the aggressor.
Yeah.
And that's the only
unless
way
you got anything taken away from the throw.
I don't think there was nothing taken away from the throw.
KSI for the first round for sure.
Yeah.
Fournier moving on the back foot, but maybe showing a little bit of experience. KSI, could he keep that up for 7 rounds?
No.
6 rounds. Could he keep that for 6 rounds?
I don't think you keep it. I think the next round he goes in, he calms it down a little bit. He tries to pick his shots. That's what he needs to do if he wants to go for the knockout.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to actually
I reckon
connection.
knockout's coming this round. That's what I called, didn't I?
You
And
did
after that first round, with a big old swinging backhand.
If he does connect with one of them, then he's potentially do some damage.
A bit scared of the power. Okay, so we're about to go back in for the second round. Yeah, boxing after dice. What do we think? I think KSI had a good round. Fournier just showed a little bit of experience there. Scared to throw the power? I don't know if he's scared to throw it. Maybe it's just a little early on.
No, I think he's saying, is he scared of the power of KSI?
Oh, scared of the power. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah. But guys, we're back in for the second round. Good from Fournier there with throwing with a 3-punch combo. Not connecting fully, but KSI knew it was there. JJ coming in with big jabs, landing twice on Fournier.
Fournier looks a little bit more confident now. I think he's weighed him up in that first round, knows what he's going to do, and now he's just making sure he's out of range every time when KSI goes. KSI
throwing hands though, moving forward. Fournier showing a little bit more of experience on the back foot, but coming forward, striking when he has to.
He's making the connections.
KSI mouth open, second round. He maybe not be as conditioned as Fournier being the pro. I don't know. But we'll see. I called it that KSI would have the second round. But yeah. Do stay with us. This is an exciting fight. KSI the big. He's moving in.
Oh, he's down.
He's down.
No.
Is he gone?
He's
gone.
Come on. No, he's getting up.
Okay. KSI big backhand. Fournier down. That's it.
It's done.
It's over. Wow. Didn't make the count. I called it on the second round, didn't I? For those who are joining us now, you have just missed a fantastic knockout by KSI in the second round.
That was a good knockout. I want to see a slow motion replay on that. I'm sure there's got to be an elbow in there.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah,
it was a bit strange because Joe came out in this second round. I'd say the more confident. KSI looked like he was blowing a little bit, so I didn't think he were going to be throwing them big ones.
KSI's giving the bows to the crowd now for the North, South, East, and West. The crowd is happy to see for a big stoppage from KSI. I mean, this is what these boys have paid good money for tonight. And thanks for being here tonight with us to see our first commentary for the knockout. And everything's he's in shape tonight. Yeah. And he really, really pounced for that fight. Sorry, really pounced for that punch there. Happy days. Wait on the replay for it. Is that Derek Chisora? Yeah, Derek Chisora in the ring, congratulating KSI and JJ now. So we've done 2 hours of streaming for
4.5 minutes. 4.5
for a round and a half.
KSI's
now doing random press ups in the ring.
Yes,
is what it is. But for those who are still with us, that is a second round KSI knockout. And that wasn't it?
It was. I'm just waiting to see the replays on this.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, he froze.
No. There's more to it. Yes, we have big back right overhand. Fournier step back, maybe slightly feeling it. Throws it. Oh,
there was an elbow.
There was an elbow.
It's an elbow that's
not even a punch. That's a disqualification.
I called the elbow.
You did live on the fight. This is why you're here, Charlie. This is why you're here. For those people watching right now, this is not a punch. This is an elbow, and KSI will get disqualified for this.
Yeah,
just bear with us.
100%.
Just bear with us. Just bear with us.
It's an elbow. 100%.
It's not even on the glove. It's not even on the forearm. It's a big elbow. Get us in the comments.
He's got him in the range to hit it to connect.
JJ's mum is celebrating. Commentators have stood up. They are going on like it's a big old knockout. For those who are still with us, KSI is absolutely celebrating, bound to the audience, doing like clap hand press ups in the ring. But for those who have seen or just listened in to what has happened, it's not as you'd once thought. It's not a punch. It's an elbow. And what
100% an elbow.
Are they going to call it? Are they going to call it a disqualification?
They have to call it disqualification. There's a lot of talking.
Michael Buff's talking now. They're still congratulating JJ though. They're still congratulating JJ. Should be disqualification. Yeah, it should
100%
be. 100%. Thanks, Box for the comments tonight. Thank you very much. What are they going to do? They have to call it disqualification. Well, no contest? I don't know. It has to be
Disqualification.
It has to be.
You know, it was a straight up elbow, and he was within range to make the connection.
They've called it a JJ win. They've.
That's a joke.
So for those guys who are still with us, they've called it. He's taken back his belt after 2 rounds, and we are not happy with this, by the way.
No.
For those who are watching, those who have stayed with us, do stay with us. We're going to get a phone in on this.
Yeah,
we'll definitely get a phone in on this. Yeah, crazy scenes in the boxing world tonight. That's all people are going to talk about tomorrow in the boxing world.
Oh yeah,
KSI's coming for a Muay Thai fight. Hits him with a clean elbow on the shin.
100.
Fournier's been knocked out, and like bad knockout as well, wasn't it?
Bad.
Maybe that's just showing KSI's level of him not being a boxer. It's bad, really bad.
He's a pro boxer. He's got a pro boxing license. So
yeah,
we say about the level of boxing. He's got a pro boxing license.
So bad. Oh, so bad.
You know, this isn't exhibition boxing and all
But
the rest of it. They're advertising it.
Is that done? When Charlie, what's his name? Lightweight fighter for Great Britain. When he lost his belt, but they called it after, about 20 minutes after in the ring. That was a disqualified punch. Like, he even gave an interview after saying, you didn't train hard enough, blah, blah, blah. But they went back on the fight and said, no, it was disqualification. Hopefully that's going to happen here tonight. I can't see it happening, though. For those who are still with us, this should be a disqualification.
It should be. Now, the only way I can't see it happening is the fact that he's the CEO of Misfit Boxing, and it's Misfit Boxing.
Boxing, like,
boxing is boxing.
I mean, that goes back to the day of Queensberry rules. Like, you can't
elbow someone on the chin.
You can't. I mean, that's a very different sport.
I
mean, it's in UFC.
You get away with rubbing heads and all the rest of it. Yeah. You're coming in with a.
You got a warning. You got a warning in the first round as well for the back of the head. It was just
the body slam, the back of the head, and now a big elbow.
Oh man, he's made himself a bit of a fool tonight.
And this is a lot of issues
with YouTube boxing justice here tonight. Is
the boxing purists? They'll watch this or they'll hear about this. They won't watch it. They'll hear about this and they'll be like, this is why these people shouldn't be boxing.
Okay, so we've got ourselves a face-off between Young Fury,
Tommy Fury.
That's it. Tommy Fury nose to nose with KSI. They're giving each other back and forth with words. I can imagine there's going to be a push coming somewhere at some point.
Yeah.
But this shouldn't be happening right now. This should be the JJ should be kicking off about what's gone down. Where's Fournier? Where's Joe? Like,
yeah,
has he been carted off to hospital? I don't know. Like, they got him out of ring sharpest in his team, didn't they?
I'm very, it was a show. So bad. It was always going to be this after the fight and everything else. But this is
so as it stands, we've got Young Fury going nose to nose with JJ now. They're just exchanging pleasantries. There's no way KSI getting the ring off of that shambles with a real fighter. No way. Oh, that was poor. Oh, we got ourselves a bit of a push. Let's get in. Oh, and the camera's going. But yeah, that's exactly what's to be expected, right? I mean, that's just
we knew this was happening. Tommy Fury.
That's just wrote in the script now, is it not?
He's been sat happy.
And we're back with YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Away from boxing for a round and a half of it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so poor the way that fight finished. So poor.
Yeah.
If you guys get an opportunity, I'm sure the Zone will upload the fight at some point and the highlights. Wow, bad decision there tonight.
Very bad.
And it hasn't done boxing and YouTube any justice this evening.
Nothing at all.
No.
And then that pathetic stuff in the ring there.
Oh yeah.
Tommy Fury's been sat there all night with a big smile on his face. He gets in the ring with a big smile on his face, and now all of a sudden
John Fury on the mic now. Big John Fury.
These guys are the worst of enemies.
My son.
Oh, it's a joke.
Oh, what's his name? Tyson's brothers as well. The other one. Oh, what's his name? Shane Fury's there with a hair. Is Tyson there? That's it.
I've not seen Tyson all night.
That's Shane there holding his brother back. So as it stands now with us, Tommy's got his hands up, calling out JJ. Shane Fury's older brother, the oldest of the brothers, is holding him back. And we've cut away from the ring now, and we've got our first caller on the line. Let's hear what they have to say. We're going to say hello to Declan. We've got our first caller on the line, and I know they'll have something to say about how that fight went down. Hello, Declan, you with us?
How are you? You okay?
Yeah, we're good, thank you. So, did you watch the end of the fight?
Yeah, I did watch the end of the fight, and in my opinion, it should have been a no contest or a DQ.
Yeah, that's exactly what I called it. Yeah.
Look, the situation that we have is with these low-level fights.
Yeah.
Is that if someone lands a punch like that, no one in the crowd really is aware or cares. You know, so poor Joe Fournier woke up, gassed in air, and he's probably got Tommy Fury. KSI in the ring chatting.
Yeah.
He's probably got Tommy Fury walking over his carcass,
Stepping over it.
He got to know what's going on.
No. He's just got a Muay Thai elbow to the chin. The next thing you know, John Fury's on the mic rapping.
He's been body slammed. He's had a dig to the back of the head, and then he's just been elbowed, all in the space of 4.5 minutes.
How bad is that? This guy went for an exhibition with David Hay, you know, prestigious.
Yeah, look. If I'm going to be honest,
Yeah.
KSI clearly boxed it quite hard that first punch, okay?
Yeah.
But not what I watched it with my family members. We didn't even realise it was an elbow at first, but what we did realise.
Charlie called it, mate. Charlie called it.
See, it was the
Charlie called it live.
It was the way KSI had pulled him in. It just looked like an elbow, and I was hoping I was wrong. But
yeah, well, what I did realise was that KSI actually had his other arm around it. Okay, and that alone is
Yeah, it's a legal move. Yeah, for sure.
You know, he had his left arm wrapped around his head so he could give him a punch.
yeah,
And in my opinion, it don't surprise the case. Like, he's such a poor fighter.
Oh, he is. He's poor,
He's a bad
man.
boxer.
As
For him to throw a punch and the elbow hits the face, not that surprising. This guy is not that good. Tommy Fury, I think it's going to be a lot easier than what it was with Jake Paul.
that's exactly how I feel.
From a boxing perspective, he's very poor. He does have power, but Jake Paul is just clearly a better fighter.
he has the power. He just throws it willy-nilly. He's not. You can't. There's no training there. He's not been brought up through the youth system and everything else, and he's just works out in a gym, thrown some punches, hit a couple of people, and people go, "Oh, you could fight." And this whole YouTube boxing thing started taking off over the past few years, and between them and the Paul brothers and a few of the others that have been kicking around, they've come up with this misfit boxing and everything else. And now,
Poor, isn't it? He's poor.
it's very the standard's poor.
Dick, you still with us?
Right, I'll let you boys go then.
Right, yeah. Take care. Thanks for the calling tonight. Oh, cheers. Cheers, bro. Be sure to subscribe. Take care, mate. Yeah. So, for those who are just still with us, may have missed the 2-rounder that was the KSI Fournier fight. Charlie, how do you want to call the end of the fight and how it went down?
It was Joe came out in that second round. He looked very confident. You know, he was throwing the jab out and connecting. KSI was still throwing and throwing big bombs and just missing with everything. And there was a bit of a tangle. And next thing you know, it was more of a grapple with an elbow thrown in. He pulled him in and elbowed him. And it just looked very strange straight from the offset. That the fact that the way he'd thrown it, if he'd have connected with that right hand, Joe wouldn't have fallen how he did. He'd have spun and come to the side because you'd have felt the full force of it.
Yeah.
Whereas he just dropped on his knees from that point, which is why I thought initially that was an elbow and not a punch. And then straight away, when it did come back to the replay, you could see 100% it was an elbow. It was not a punch.
Yeah, you called it live, which is great. Like no.
It was just the way he fell. That because if he'd connected with that right hand,
so poor.
His head would have gone and his body would have naturally followed. He just didn't.
Yeah, so poor. It really was to have called for a knockout, and then KSI has put the belt back on, knowingly what she's just gone.
Then
through.
Called out Tommy Fury and
dangerous.
Had that circus in the ring.
They have to do the calling out business just to sell the next fight, really, didn't they? I mean, dangerous business. What's Fury doing in there? I don't know. Are they making a mockery of the sport? Oh, I don't know.
Fury's dad's getting amongst it. Obviously, they're making a lot of money.
John come back. John Fury. I'd love to see him fight.
They're making a lot of money out of it, the Fury,
Good, I'm glad they are.
Yeah, I'm just waiting.
Someone's got, haven't they?
Who's Tyson Fury going to fight?
Who's Tyson Fury going to fight?
Which YouTuber's going to call out Tyson? One of them will see.
Who is it? Jake Paul pulled out Canelo, didn't he, his last fight?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Some of these.
Canelo's like the greatest fighter of a generation, really. It's the best fight in the last 10 years, probably.
You call it, you're a YouTuber.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just doing it for the namesake of it. I'm not too sure.
They do, don't they? They call everyone until they get a bite.
We've got another caller in. Hello, Nathan, you with us? You're live on podcast?
Yeah, you right for this? I thought I'd bring in.
Happy days.
One little say on it.
Yeah, happy days. I understand you're a big boxing fan yourself.
Yeah, big boxing fan. Not a big fan of that card tonight, though.
We won't be. We're going to let you talk now. Come and talk us through tonight, then.
Well, the card itself, I wasn't that impressed with. It's what you get. It's what it's for the kids, really, and it's just a bit of entertainment. But the main event, I'm shocked that everyone just brushed over the blatant DQ for the elbow.
100%.
Like, if Fournier actually had the time to actually come around from the elbow, he could have easily, like made his case for it being a disqualification, but they just seemed to just brush over it. They didn't address it in the post-fight interview.
Wow, so poor.
Bizarre.
Poor from the boxing world there tonight.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Me and Charlie sat in now, and we're obviously discussing it, and Charlie called it live. And we just expected his qualification to come out. Like, that, the Charlie fight, what's his surname? You know what I mean? Lightweight British boxer, world champion. You know me. His name's Charlie Edwards. Remember when Charlie Edwards got knocked out? But it was after. They called it about 15 minutes later that it was disqualification.
Yeah, but it was alright for Charlie because they had the actual president of the actual belt organisation in the crowd, and he got in the ring and made a decision there and then, rather than 2 days later.
Who's the president of the belt organisation tonight? It's of the Misfit belt. It's KSI himself.
KSI himself. He's not going to disqualify himself.
So that was a punch. And the funny thing is, like, listening to KSI in the interview, he was saying about how the overhand right that no one saw come in, and the overhand
right elbow.
First of all, it weren't even an overhand right. It was just short inside elbow and knocked the guy out. But
so
either way, it was a bit of entertainment. And I think KSI was probably going to get through with it anyway. I think Fournier did look. I mean, KSI, he looked wild. He looked a bit rugged in the ring, but Fournier just looked like he weren't really interested. I mean, I'm struggling to see what Fournier's intentions were for the fight anyway, because he's worth God knows how much money. He gets in the ring. He didn't really look like he was here to make a statement. It looked like it was just more of a clout thing. It's like he wanted to do the ring walk with them girls, because apart from that, I don't see what else he wanted to do. Yeah,
very similar to what Charlie said earlier. He just goes, someone said in the comments, he goes, well, he's paid off to lose tonight. And then Charlie said, well, he's worth 5 times more than KSI. So if you can think about people being paid off, it'd be KSI to be paid off.
Yeah, I just can't get my head around that.
Which is mental. What's he doing back here tonight? Like,
the only thing I can think of why he's come back is he left boxing too soon and wanted a little bit of the action, and that was the only thing that maybe.
He probably just fancied a little tussle around and probably thought, I'll get a crowd there to, But I don't think he had the intentions of really going in there winning. Like, even before the fight, he was talking about how he's already winning in life just being there. So basically, like saying, if I lose tonight, just don't bother him. So it's probably what Charlie's saying there. It's probably more of just the fact that as an old pro, he just fancied just another little word in the ring.
Yeah, another tail in the wheel. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Is it that?
But they moved it on real quickly with the Tommy Fury thing. I mean, poor Fournier still sat there in the corner holding his jaw, and we've got Tommy Fury in the ring.
So
went straight on to the next one.
Oh my gosh! Right. Who was it? We just had Declan on the line. Declan said, Paul Fournier is on the floor, gas and air, being dragged out the ring. You got John Fury on the mic, rapping over the top of him. You know what I mean? You got Shane Fury fucking... My apologies. You got Shane Fury trampling on him. Do you know what I mean? Just to get in between his brother and KSI for the tussle, for the entertainment of the night. Do you know what I mean?
It's the show, and it's the circus, the show that they're putting on. And they're getting a new generation of boxing fan, and that's what the new generation of boxing fan wants to see.
I don't think boxing needs a new generation, because just naturally it will come through. Always will.
Well, the only thing I can say about, in terms of the influence stuff, the standards will keep getting better, because the fans, once they see the Tommy Fury and things like that, they're going to think, oh, this is the standard that influencer boxing can get to, and it's the standard that it will eventually get to, and eventually it will just become like it will just be like watching English title fights every week. Yeah, that's because these lot are training so hard. KSI's been training now for about 5 years as a boxer, so it's not like he's some newbie out here. Do you know what I mean? That's quite a long time for someone who's doing it part time.
Yeah, Nate. If you go back to the start of the podcast tonight, I did say like they're not YouTube boxers. They're YouTube boxers because they're famous for YouTube. But when you train with the best trainers in the country, you've got a lot of money, and you're training 3 times a day, and you have an 8-week packages, and you've got you've got a pro card. You're a boxer. There's no way around that. You know, they're not the best boxers because they've only had 5 to 10 fights, or whatever. But you know, like you can't take that away from him. And what I was going to mention tonight is what I haven't already. If you look back at any pro fighter without an Olympic pedigree or a very good amateur background, are they at that standard of 5 fights in? Probably.
Yeah, that's
probably.
Because most of them you don't see because they're not on TV. If you don't have an amateur background to come off as a professional, normally you have 15 fights in small balls. And
so true. Yeah. Yeah. Like the thing is with you won't really know unless we're boxing fans. You won't hear of a boxer until he's probably fighting for an English or British title, unless he's local or he has a famous name. I mean, if someone comes on there now and just goes, who have you got up and coming? Like, who's up and coming English fighters? You either say a local fighter from your local town, maybe it's someone you follow on social media, or maybe a fighter who comes from a fighting pedigree, like, a name of Fury, or, Adam Hatton, or, someone with a famous dad, one of Connor or, Junior. But you're not picking up these guys at 5 fights in and go, this guy's got it, unless they come from that massive, Olympic pedigree or GB team. Do you know what I mean?
Right, I've really enjoyed the show, but one question I've got to ask you before I end the call. What are you going for the big one then, for Tommy Fury versus KSI? How do you see that one go?
Is that the big one, is it?
End goal now for influencer boxing, by the looks of it.
We were sat here like a big old question was going to come up. Was it Tommy Fury KSI?
Yeah, how do you see it going? I mean, that's obviously what they're going to do next.
We spoke about it. So we did speak about it afterwards when they were going nose to nose in the ring, and as young Fournier was being dragged out and goes in there. We both just said after that tonight, KSI is nowhere near the standard.
No, he's not at the standard of Tommy Fury.
Nowhere near. No, I mean, he'd probably have better show in the wrestling world, doesn't he? After the body slam and the elbow, do you know what I mean? I mean,
I think KSI is going to be. He's quite an awkward opponent, and he's shown in his previous fights that he's got quite a good heart. Like, he can take a few shots, and he's got a good engine. Yeah. Like Tommy Fury, to me, for someone who carries that much muscle mass, we saw in the Jake Paul fight that he's also got a lot of heart, and he's got quite good stamina for someone who has a lot of muscle. And obviously, his punches he puts together just looks like a boxer.
You might know, what weight does he come in at his fights?
They're both around the same weight, sort of 190 pounds, but Tommy Fury obviously just carries his weight a lot better. I mean, he looks like so much bigger than him, but yet they weigh the same.
Okay, yeah.
Tommy does look, he towers him, and Tommy's stacked as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? He holds his muscle in good places, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Very similar to like Callum Smith. He's hollow because the man comes in at super middleweight, but he's 6'4". He's full of muscle. Do you know what I mean? Which is just mental.
Yeah, it's huge middleweight. Anyway, that's
Nathan, absolute pleasure to have you on at the end of the show. Take care and all the best, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Oh, we'll plug before we go. We'll plug your. I believe there's going to be a new podcast of yourself coming up soon.
Yeah. I don't know the name of it yet, though, so it's
yeah, right, yeah.
Maybe next time.
Something for the future, all right? Take care, mate. All the best. Yeah. Happy with that. For those who are staying with us tonight, we have had probably the worst decision. Possibly the worst decision I've ever seen in boxing.
We had some entertainment. We did have some entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the show after the fight.
No.
We did see an aggressive fight.
It was so poor. That decision there, they've allowed that to continue without disqualification.
This is when I was saying earlier on about the zone taking a massive risk with partnering up with Misfit Boxing and doing these type of shows. Mm-hmm. This is going to be the thing though, where people start looking at what the zone are actually doing with boxing. You know, are they part? You've got the true boxing fan who will not watch any of this. They would not care.
Yeah.
And someone show them that elbow, they'll just be like, this just cements why these people shouldn't be doing it. And then when you start saying, oh, it was on DAZN and everything, a lot of people are going to be onto this. I listen to a few different podcasts on boxing as well. There's a few people who are very outspoken on the YouTube boxers themselves, national radio and everything else, which is really, really, they go deep into it. And this is going to be a massive, massive issue. This is going to be spoken about for the next couple of weeks on a few of these shows.
Really should be as well.
How that elbow and how these people are allowed to put on these shows and get their boxing licenses and do this type of stuff, because that was poor.
Oh, yeah.
It was a poor elbow.
Yeah.
You know, there was 4.5 minutes.
There was no mention of it after the fight either.
There was a body slam, there was a punch in the back of the head, and there was an elbow which finished the fight, and that was in 4.5 minutes. So, if we was watching anything from Matchroom or anywhere else, anything else, you'd be like,
I wonder what Eddie Hearn's going to say about this story, because he's going to get questioned on it.
You got Eddie Hearn who'll be like, he's not boxing.
Yeah,
Eddie Hearn is very much against this.
It's his channel.
DAZN, but he's very much against the. No, he's part of DAZN.
Okay, yeah, fair one. Yeah.
DAZN's an American, Australian channel.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's been around for quite a long time. He's new over here.
Yes.
But
he pushes DAZN, though, doesn't he?
He pushes it because he's just signed a contract with them, which was obviously bigger than Sky.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the way he's going at the minute. But now if he's looking at that as the person he is and what he's done for boxing, especially British boxing over the last 10, 15 years, he's now going to look at that and go, well, this is British boxing. And, you know, this is starting to damage the heritage of British boxing.
Yeah.
That show tonight and what was there. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of people who are
rightly
very
so
much
as well.
against it.
Rightly so as well.
Yeah. And, you know,
poor decisions tonight.
Even the likes of Frank Warren is going to be.
Frank's old school, mate. He didn't do YouTube.
He's going to be like, what's going on here? And this is the thing of these boxers, these YouTube boxers trying to get the boxers from Frank Warren, from Eddie Hearn to fight, to get these fights. Because a professional boxer who's come through the system, who's worked the way to get to there, to be at the 6-7 fight stage.
Yeah.
Did they want that YouTube fighter? Did they want to come on this? They've just watched someone get elbowed and dropped on the floor and knocked out by an elbow and nothing said about it. They're going to go, no thanks. I don't want to lose on my card against some YouTuber who's going to elbow me.
I don't know. I reckon if they're tipped to be, we'll come to you in a second, boxing. If they're tipped to go good play, win British titles and maybe potentially go on to win a world title. I don't think they want that smoke, but if they're just, run-of-the-mill fighters, like the ones we mentioned earlier that we want to see them fight, then yeah, maybe.
The ones who were tipped to go and be the British and then go on to European, Commonwealth and World, they're the 22, 23-year-olds.
I think they'll be ring-fenced for that.
They're never needing this fight.
Say that, though, that's what Tommy Fury is.
Tommy Fury set himself a different path when he went on Love Island.
Yeah, he did. Okay, so have you boys been to any boxing events? If so, which ones? Big one I went to was keeping with the Furies. I sat ringside at the Joseph Parker Hughie Fury fight. Funny story, actually. Okay, right, funny story, right. Obviously, there's no smoking in the event, is there? I don't smoke, but when I've had a couple of jars with the lads to the toilet and a bind in the toilet, I put it out. Security walked in. Security just walked in and went, "You out now." And I was like, and my brother was like co-promoting the fight for YouTube of the night, and so I didn't want to make a scene. And we were dressed smart, man. We were dressed really smart, and I was just like, "Yep, is what it is." I was like, "I'm not going to make a big deal out of it because when security have had you, that's what you've done." Yeah. So this was before the main card as well. So I went outside, sat on a step, and I just heard it inside. And I just like, yeah. And this is a true story. What a story. So all the family was inside, sat ringside for the fight as well. So you're like touching distance from Tyson. Who else is there?
And you're outside on the steps because you had a
swear
fight
to like a naughty schoolboy. I swear to you, it's a true story that's happened. And who else was there? Billy Joe Saunders, all Gypsy boys. He was in Manchester. What's the Manchester? Is it called the Manchester Arena? What's the big boxing one?
There's a few different. You got the MEN Arena, which is the ice hockey.
It wasn't the MEN. It wasn't the MEN. It was a big boxing one. But yeah, that's a true story, guys. This is a funny story. You laugh at it now.
Oh wow.
Charlie, what about you, mate? You're a northern, they're boxing up there.
I am. So I'm from Blackpool originally, and there's two different places around Blackpool to watch boxing. A bit of like white collar type stuff. At the Winter Gardens, they put on a good show. And then the Norbert Castle. These places, you're probably getting 2,000 to 3,000 people in there. Used to go 10, 15 years ago. There'd be one event every 6-7 weeks. I'm talking, these weren't pros. There was amateur, which I like. I do like amateur boxing. I like that they're fighting actually wanting to step up and build a name for themselves and everything, and just there's not all the show and everything else. And these people are fighting the people who are in front of them and actually wanting to be the best in that division to then step up.
Yeah, maybe.
So quite a few of them and a few charity events, but they're sort of the better ones that I've found. I found that a couple of the bigger,
larger events, they're
a bit too much of a show. Very expensive, very crowded.
And if you're sat in the back, if you're sat like Row Z, Wembley for say an AJ fight, you have to watch it on the screen because you can't even watch.
You may as well sit at home in your living room.
There's a reason. There's a reason why you don't sell out 100,000 arena. For boxing because you can't see them.
You don't want to be more than 10 meters back from the ring.
What about you, Boxing After Dark? What do you reckon on that for mega arena for boxing? Look at the MGN. Look at what's the big Vegas one? Oh, that is the MGN. I'm talking about the MGN.
So what's Times Square? Times Square is really small, isn't it?
Yeah.
For a boxing arena.
20,000, isn't it?
But every seat is a spectacular seat, and it's all on top of it. So the atmosphere it creates.
Flushing Meadows, isn't it? Yeah.
You know,
it's a game of tennis, isn't it? Yeah. It's small. It's personal.
A lot of the boxers who fought at Times Square say it's the best place I've fought.
Who? Mayweather was commentating, and Cole Froch was there. And Cole Froch, he loves his 80,000 chat, doesn't he? Those obviously.
Yeah.
So Cole Froch mentioned the fact that he sold out an 80,000 arena, and I remember Mayweather just looked at him just said like, why are you boasting about selling out an arena? I could sell out a million arena if I wanted. That was the kind of the vibe you got off him, and
it just gets more people in.
His name.
All it does is just gets more people into an arena. More money. Stadium prices and all the rest of it. Yeah. In the smaller arenas, where families are there.
Yeah.
You're sat next to some bloke who's sat there, and you're fighting his kid who sat there, and they're giving it each other as much as the one, them type of.
Notoriously, there's always a fight at a boxing event as well, in the crowd. Where's that coming from?
Which is 10 times better than the fight in the ring half the time.
I always think to myself, what happened for that to initiate?
Yeah. It's
what if you've ever had the privilege of going to watch, Gypsies fight, if you ever go into it a Fury fight, notoriously fights.
Yes.
Is it rival? I don't know. I always think it's maybe a rival family, maybe a Gypsy fight, but you're going to an Anthony Joshua fight, Anthony Joshua Franklin fight. Who's fighting in the crowd?
My
big Franklin fans. I don't know.
So my little cousin at the minute, he's 12 years old. He got into boxing a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And his dad's side of the family, Gypsy family, so it's sort of the rite of passage to get into that. He's starting to go to these events and getting amongst it, and the family gets a table and everything, and it's just one of them things where they're there, your whole family's there, and there's a little bit of an atmosphere, but it's gym against gym as well, which is always a good thing. So you've got half the places for one gym, half for the other. So even if it's not just your family that's cheering you, you've got generally half the arena shouting for you every time as well. It's always a good thing.
It's great for local community as well.
Oh yeah, massive. Yeah. And then start getting onto
especially for working class communities.
Yeah,
boxing's huge.
Yeah,
boxing's absolutely big. I mean, like if you ever come from like a rougher background in the UK or I suppose around the world, you grow up in boxing and you go up in local heroes and they do come from those those small ABC clubs. They really do. We've got a question here from Boxing After Dark. They're all from boxing. We've already got below the belt boxing nailed for being out on the podcast, but is there a chance we could ever get an appearance out of our Charlie? I don't know. Charlie, can you make wind of that?
We've already got.
I'm not too sure. Nothing but good for it. People love your commentary, mate. Straight from Sky Sports is Charlie.
Talk Sport Radio. I've not got the face for Sky. If anyone from Talk Sport ever
we've got on,
I'm always available.
We've got a few more minutes in us. Thank you so much for staying with us tonight. And evening, lads. So we're born. Oi. So Warborn is a fan all the way from Florida tonight. Did you watch the fight? If you're just joining us, or would you want us to fill you in on how it went down? We've got a few more minutes online.
Yeah, it's
so we'll give it to you. So KSI, big build up, Fournier fight. 11 years his junior. We had a bit of a tussle in the first round. KSI got a warning for the bit of a wrestling match. Second round, big knockout, but
it was an elbow.
It was an elbow.
100%.
Big old Muay Thai elbow on the chin, and should have been a disqualification, but no one seemed to care.
No, not at all.
Yeah, not good for boxing. Not good for YouTube boxing. Would you ever come on our podcast for the future? Basically, haha. All right, yeah.
If we're talking about sport,
Johnny's just doing the rounds on the podcast.
We're talking about sport and drinking beer on there. I'm
so happy with this. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us so much this evening. Blood about boxing. Yeah, we'd love to see it, man. I enjoy boxing podcasts as long as they're done well. And I'm not saying this is done well by any means, but I don't want to see someone linked in on teams from around the world and seven different screens. I can't keep with that. And you blokes are lagging. I'm sure I'm lagged tonight, but I want to see people just sitting there having the crack exactly as we do. Yeah. And talk about current boxing.
Just get lost in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't realise that you're on a screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Just talking away.
I hope that would be the way for you guys. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For those who are still with us, we are going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes. But thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we've had a good crack. We've had 3 streams tonight. Due to technical difficulties, but that is what it is. So we're going to round off the night with a boxing chat. KSI is probably soon to fight
Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury, isn't it? Yeah.
Tommy Fury. He's got too much for KSI, and that's just the end of that discussion. I don't think there is a discussion on it. They will sell a fight, and it'll go on for months, and there'll be a lot of drama and a big circus and all the build up. Where will that fight be? Are they going to try and sell out Wembley? Are they going to go abroad again? That'll be the chat. Then there'll be
Saudi, maybe.
Did they go back to Saudi? Tommy Fury's been.
Oh, sorry, the first fight was in Saudi, wasn't it?
Yeah, KSI's not been there yet. So, did they try and go for the Wembley sellout? That's the big one. As a British boxer.
Oh, yeah. That's what we want to see.
We've just been saying about, Carl Frock and Mayweather laughing at him for selling out.
Yeah. But we want to see it because it makes for great content, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're coming to the end, but we do have a couple of questions. Question for you boys. Who is the fighter You just buzz to watch, retired or not. Please, sorry, you can't say no, it's Charlie. I'm after that. Who do I buzz to watch? You know what, right? I actually genuinely love to watch Tyson Fury. But you know what? I think it's because with the triple fight he had with Deontay Wilder, I had a heart rate monitor on my watch at the time, and my heart rate was like I was doing cardio.
Yeah,
because it was just like boom, 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 boom. Because you just like you're waiting for that one big punch from Wilder, and it's the big spectacle. And I'll get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch Tyson fight in America. I actually will. A lot of fighters, I'll watch the full fight the next day. We'll cover up the screen. One fighter
I love to watch. GGG. He was an animal, just dispatching people.
Who's this?
GGG.
Yeah, loved him. Loved him.
I mean, I don't like what he did to Kell Brook.
I
don't like Kell Brook.
I remember watching it.
Watching GGG, you just knew he was going to get in there, and he was an animal, and he was just going to throw everything. And
Gennady Golovkin, yeah.
And he was going to hit you.
He had the highest knockout rate in middleweight history. I think it's to his 33rd fight. 33 fights, 32 knockouts, I believe.
He'd hit you once, and then he'd go for that same spot, spot, and he'd make a weakness of that same spot.
I think if he wasn't from Kazakhstan, I think he would have gone, the bigger build-up.
Yeah.
If he was American or British, I think he would have just been superstardom.
Oh, massive.
Great guy as well.
Yeah.
Humble.
So down to earth.
Yeah, fantastic.
Stop and chat to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice bloke.
Someone you want to be friends with.
Yeah.
Okay, so for that, we had the obvious one with Tyson. Gennady Golovkin. I feel like I don't know. I was maybe sitting in the wrong era for good buzz for fighters. Canelo. Do you know what? It's a weird one because I think there's no buzz with Canelo fight because he doesn't really get massive fights in.
No,
he just fights a lot of B grade fighters. Other than nothing away from Canelo. He's a fantastic fighter, but Canelo fighting John Ryder, Canelo fighting Smith. Canelo fighting, do you know what I mean? And except when he goes up to fight light heavyweight, that's when I buzz him, because that's the caliber of fighter he is. I love to see Canelo fight, I really do, but I want to see. I don't buzz off what's his name, Terence Crawford fighting. I don't buzz off Errol Spence fighting. I don't buzz off Jamal Charlo fighting. Maybe because they're American. Maybe it's because they've pretty much unified the divisions between themselves, but they don't actually fight number 2 fighters.
Yeah.
Properly grips me. Love to see Usyk fight. Absolutely love to see Usyk fight. Yeah, that's for me. You must have another one in there.
Another one.
Gennady, yeah, he's a fantastic fight.
You've got to go back to Mike Tyson. I know you don't know what you're going to get. You never knew what you was going to get in the ring.
I had that buzz when I was a young man, when I was about...
Everyone who grew up watching Tyson buzzed about Tyson.
You're 2 years older than me, aren't you?
I'm 36 now.
Yeah, 3 years older than me. Yeah. So you remember a little bit more than Tyson than I do.
Yeah, I remember sitting up till 4 o'clock in the morning
for the
Holyfield fight.
Holyfield fight.
I remember the biting his ear.
You're showing your age, yeah.
And just because it was so talked up.
Yeah.
And you kind of knew Holyfield was going to get the better of him, but you just thought Tyson was going to pull something out.
So I don't know.
And he just chomped on his ear.
Have you seen the video on the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only fight to beat Mike Tyson twice. Yeah. Holyfield was like. Holyfield was his kryptonite. Like he couldn't go through that. It's just a style of fight. He just couldn't get through.
No, he couldn't.
Granite chin, made of stone.
He just couldn't put him down.
He just beat him to the punch. He beat him up the first fight. He beat him up in the second fight, and he had to go for disqualification. Do you know, for the third round, he took out his gum shield and came out of the corner. The ref clocked it, sent him back to the corner, put his gum shield back in. So he had bad intentions.
Oh,
it was evil.
Yeah.
Oh, it was evil.
But you never knew what you were getting from him.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. GGG was a bully. He'd pick that weakness and bully people. Mike Tyson was a bully.
Mm-hmm.
And in the ring, you want a bully. You want someone who's going to pick a weakness and go for it.
Yeah.
And do whatever they can to win. And that's what I enjoy about boxing. Someone going that extra.
Guys, we're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it on the hour. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yeah. She's wrapping up. I love Charlie. Thank you. I've had that absolute top night. and I'll be sure to watch it back.
We did watch 4.5 minutes of more exciting than the last.
Oh yeah,
night we watched.
the round and a half we watched tonight was so much better than a live commentary that we've had before on the night.
Yeah.
But absolute take care, guys, and all the best, and we shall see you very soon for the next podcast and live stream. Take care.